Howdy! Welcome to Formula Forecast, where we discuss the twists and turns that Mother Nature throws at us. This week, we're in Hungary.
Towards Vale now. Who's going to be last on the brakes? Leclerc has that inside line. Through goes Hamilton. Unbelievable stuff.
The hardest circuit name of the year to pronounce, the Hungaroring. Located just outside of Budapest, Hungary, the Hungaroring hosted the first ever Formula One race behind the Iron Curtain in 1986 and has since become the home of some very strange situations.
Possible of the rest of the field, otherwise he is going to lose out big time. It's going to be lights out and away we go for Lewis Hamilton only. Ocon wins the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Yeah, I'm still not sure how that second one happened. Anyway, jokes aside, this track came to be as Bernie Ecclestone, the former chief executive of Formula One, wanted to have a race in the Soviet Union, but decided on Hungary after a friend recommended Budapest. The track's lap record is held by Lewis Hamilton, set in 2020 with the W11, and last year's winner is, of course, you guessed it, Max Verstappen. Let's take a look at this week's schedule. Friday with FP1 and FP2, FP3 and qualifying are on Saturday, leaving Sunday as race day. As for the weather, it's going to be a scorcher in Hungary. With daily high temperatures around 33 to 34 degrees Celsius, which is about 92 degrees Fahrenheit on Friday and Saturday, and winds out of the north-northeast both days at about 8 to 16 kilometers per hour, with Friday being partly cloudy and Saturday being mostly cloudy. The reason for the blustering hot weather on Friday and Saturday is due to a stationary high-pressure system over the area that won't be moving anytime soon. The system that could relieve some of this heat is currently over the UK, which is why there's an excessive heat warning for this area that expires the night of Wednesday the 17th. However, don't be surprised if it continues throughout the weekend. So, as you might have guessed, there will be no relief for Sunday. Sunday will have sunny weather with a high temperature of about 34 degrees Celsius, which is about 94 Fahrenheit for the Grand Prix, with winds out of the east-southeast at about 8 to 16 kilometers per hour. As for how this will affect the Grand Prix, this is typically a two-stopper without any kind of rain. However, with the tire stress at the track, compounded by these hot temperatures, look for a possible three-stopper from some of the teams this coming Sunday, even with the allocation of the hardest three tire compounds for this race. Now, for some current news. Following Lewis Hamilton's record-breaking 9th win at the British Grand Prix, I can finally say that Formula One is back. As now, through 12 races, we've had 6 different drivers win a Grand Prix, the most at this point in the season since 2012. With Lewis Hamilton's win coming from pure pace and not luck, I can confidently say that James Allison and Mercedes seem to have made a competitive car. They may even have the best car in the coming weeks, as they have promised upgrades for both Hungary and Belgium. This has me wondering, though, if Lewis Hamilton made a mistake signing for Ferrari before even seeing the W15. But I'll save that question for another potential video later in the season. For now, let's take a look at the standings. Max Verstappen extended his championship lead over Lando after a hard-fought second place over the Brit this past weekend. Other movers include Oscar Piastri overtaking Checo for 5th, a trend I think we'll see a lot of in the coming races, which I covered in my previous video, linked down below. Lance Stroll and Nico Hülkenberg jumped Yuki after a few good weekends, and Lewis Hamilton closed the gap to his teammate with just 1 point between them, following George Russell's DNF. As for the constructor standings, Red Bull slightly extended their lead despite Checo not scoring points, as Ferrari is, well, being Ferrari, and McLaren still has some points to make up to get up to second place. Meanwhile, Aston Martin pulled away from VCARB, and Haas is getting dangerously close to VCARB as Nico Hülkenberg secured a second straight P6. Lastly, speaking of Haas finally decided to fill one of their seats with 18-year-old Ollie Behrman, which is an interesting choice to say the least, as he hasn't really been successful in F2, but he may not be the only F2 driver like that to make the jump for next season. Yes, I'm talking about Kimi Antonelli. I'll cover this topic in depth in a video once that other Mercedes seat has been taken up. As for my predictions for the Grand Prix, we're going to do the best 3 teams, worst 3 teams, and my top 5 drivers in order. In the best 3 teams, I'll again say Red Bull, McLaren, and Mercedes, just given their recent performances. Also, just for clarification, when I say Red Bull, I really mean Max Verstappen for the foreseeable future. As for the 3 weakest teams, I think Sauber, Williams, and Alpine will be at the bottom, as it looks like Haas has finally brought a good upgrade package. RB has been consistently scoring points, and Aston is cemented in 5th place at the moment. Finally, for my top 5, I think Lewis will win a second straight race to tie his record of 9 wins at the same circuit after he just said it, as Hungary is one of his best tracks and Mercedes will have upgrades here. Next, I think George will come in P2, just ahead of Lando. In 4th and 5th, I have Max ahead of Oscar Piastri, as I'm not confident in the Red Bull's ability to ride the curbs through Hungary, particularly in the middle sector. I'm also interested to see how y'all think this Grand Prix will shake out, so comment down below your predictions for the race. I'd like to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe, as it lets me know I'm doing a good job, and I'll see you next week for the Belgium Grand Prix.